Well, it's no surprise there he is. Mr. G is passionate about the New York City Marathon. He actually ran the race 35 times, most recently 4 years ago, and he's not ready to slow down anytime yet.
It's like a trip down memory lane. Right. The marathon may not be what it is today if it weren't for two African-American New Yorkers. They blazed a trail and changed history in the 1930s. It's a G thing.
G Thing, presented by Northwell, who believes when we raise health, we raise everyone. Northwell, raise health.
Most people have heard of the New York Roadrunners, but the organization would not exist without the Pioneer Club. Founded by three African-American men in 1936 after the Harlem riots, the Pioneer Club was one of the first interracial athletic organizations in the whole country.
During a very turbulent time in history and in Harlem and in the area, this idea that you had something that could ground you, that had everything good about it: unity, health, and just overall running.
This is a story that few people knew, and it's an important story to be told. And it also ties into New York history in a wonderful way.
Now the focus of an exhibit at the New York Historical Society, which is absolutely terrific. Running for Civil Rights focuses on two humble heroes who led by example.
Let's talk about Joe Yancey. He wanted to form an organization where he would teach young men how to behave and coach them to run, but it was much more than just running, it was how to be gentlemen.
One of his students, Ted Corbett, who ran more than 220 marathons in his lifetime.
Ted Corbett is an iconic and legendary figure in our sport and really in life in general. He was the first African-American Olympic marathoner ever.
What was his relationship with Yancey?
Joe Yancey was his coach. So their relationship began as coach and athlete, and that grew. They led by example. They had a passion for the sport and went and did it.
Ted Corbett's son Gary witnessed that passion firsthand at the Yonkers Marathon in the 1960s.
I saw my father at the 10-mile mark, and he was running very well. And then we saw him again around 13, 14 miles, climbing a hill, limping. And he finished. He finished in 2:52 hours and 52 minutes. But it always stuck with me how he kept going.
I saw a picture of Ted running and winning a race, and there's nobody in sight. How good was he?
Even when he got to the point in his life when he couldn't run marathons, he was walking marathons. And he's one of the greatest marathon walkers of all time.
Gary Corbett didn't realize the significance of what his father had done until much later on in life.
It seems to me like you're a little bit like your dad.
I think about him all the time when I'm running. I visualize him and others. You know, my big thing now is that this history that I saw firsthand never gets forgotten. And this exhibit has been so great to tell a Pioneer Club story. And this is the first time that this story has really been told accurately and correctly.
And you can see the Running for Civil Rights exhibition at the New York Historical Society until February 25th. Yeah. I got an important life lesson from that. Run or walk, doesn't matter, just finish.
Another life lesson, I think this is a first. Remember, nobody has covered these two guys to this extent. I think the life lesson for me is the humility. You see, I mentioned a couple people in the newsroom, you know, we're into this brag society. We went viral, me. And these guys set an example, pulled kids out of Harlem during riots, dressed to the nines. You saw the picture of Yancey, and Ted was very humble, and he hooks up with Fred LeBeau, of all people, who's bigger than life, and Ted builds the bricks to the Roadrunners Club on purpose. He didn't want to do it, but he saw and had a vision.
Yeah. And you know, the marathon is such an iconic part of the city, and not many people know the story of these two men.
Oh, and they have to know it. And
it's
a New York Historical Society. If you're a runner, you got to go, and if you're a spectator, it's worth looking at.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
Next
G.
thing on our list to visit.